Welcome back to the channel, my spooky friends. Tonight we're taking a detour from the usual haunts and venturing onto the open road. The very haunted open road. That's right, we're talking about those stretches of asphalt and concrete that seem to hold on to more than just the echoes of passing cars. We're diving headfirst into two terrifying tales of haunted roads and bridges, places where the veil between our world and the next wears terrifyingly thin. These are the roads less traveled for a reason, shrouded in chilling legends and whispered warnings. So buckle up tight, keep your eyes on the road, and whatever you do, don't look in the rearview mirror. You never know what might be tailing you in the darkness. Our first stop takes us deep into the heart of New Jersey, to a desolate stretch of asphalt known as Clinton Road. This infamous 10-mile stretch winds its way through the dense, shadowy woods of West Milford, a place where the trees seem to press in a little too close and the air hangs heavy with an unsettling silence. Clinton Road has been a hotbed of paranormal activity and unsettling occurrences for decades. Locals whisper tales of phantom headlights that chase unsuspecting drivers, only to vanish into thin air. Others speak of strange creatures lurking in the woods, their eyes glowing menacingly in the darkness. But perhaps the most enduring legend of Clinton Road is that of the vanishing hitchhiker. The story goes that a young boy, tragically killed in a car accident on the road, now wanders the roadside, thumb outstretched, seeking a ride home. Some say he appears as a harmless-looking child, his eyes wide and innocent. Others claim he's aged, his face now weathered and worn, his eyes reflecting a lifetime of sorrow and longing. No matter his appearance, the outcome remains the same. Those who stop to offer him a ride find themselves overcome with an overwhelming sense of dread. The temperature in the car plummets, a bone-chilling cold seeping into their very bones. They try to speak to the boy, to ask his name or where he's headed, but their words catch in their throats, choked by an unseen force. Then, just as quickly as he appeared, the boy vanishes, leaving the driver alone on the deserted road, the icy grip of fear still clinging to them. Some dismiss the story as mere folklore, a campfire tale meant to scare teenagers. But for those who've encountered the vanishing hitchhiker of Clinton Road, the memory lingers, a chilling reminder that some roads are best left untraveled. But Clinton Road holds more than just ghostly hitchhikers. Legend has it that deep within the woods lies a massive rock known as the Druid's Altar. This moss-covered monolith is said to be a place of ancient power, where druids once performed their rituals beneath the watchful gaze of the old gods. Some say the energy of those rituals still lingers, attracting all manner of paranormal entities to the area. Others believe the altar serves as a gateway, a thin spot between dimensions where creatures from beyond can slip into our world. Whether you believe in ancient curses or interdimensional beings, there's no denying the unsettling energy that permeates Clinton Road. It's a place where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, where the shadows seem to whisper secrets best left unheard. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mr. Nightmare, this is all just spooky stories and local legends. Show me the evidence, and you know what? You're right to be skeptical. That's why we're going to delve a little deeper into the history of Clinton Road. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the sky above Clinton Road, unexplained noises in the woods, and even claims of satanic rituals taking place in the abandoned structures that dot the roadside. While many of these reports can be attributed to overactive imaginations or teenage pranks, some remain unexplained, leaving even the most hardened skeptics with a lingering sense of unease. One particularly chilling account comes from a group of friends who decided to spend a night camping in the woods near Clinton Road. As darkness fell and the campfire crackled, they began to hear strange noises coming from the surrounding forest. At first they dismissed it as animals, but the noises grew louder, more insistent, and undeniably closer. Suddenly the trees at the edge of their campsite parted and a figure emerged from the darkness. It was tall and imposing, its features obscured by the shadows. The friends froze, their blood turning to ice in their veins. The figure took a step closer, and then another, its eyes glowing an eerie red in the firelight. Terrified, the friends scrambled to their feet and fled back to their car, the creature's guttural growls echoing behind them. They sped away from that cursed place, never looking back, To this day, they can't shake the feeling that something sinister lurked in those woods, something that watched their every move from the shadows. So the next time you're planning a road trip, and you find yourself considering a detour down Clinton Road, remember the stories, remember the legends, and ask yourself, are you willing to risk encountering the unknown? Our next journey takes us to the quaint town of Avon, Ohio, home to a bridge shrouded in tragedy and despair. This isn't just any bridge, my friends. This is the Screaming Bridge, a place where the echoes of a mother's anguish mingle with the mournful whispers of the wind. The story begins in the 1960s with a young woman named Lydia, madly in love and recently engaged. But fate, as it so often does, had other plans. Lydia's fiancé was killed in a tragic accident, leaving her heartbroken and alone. Unable to bear the thought of a life without her beloved, Lydia decided to end her suffering in the most permanent way possible. She climbed to the highest point of the bridge, the cold steel biting into her hands, and hurled herself into the darkness below. But Lydia's story doesn't end there. Legend has it that her spirit, unable to find peace, remained trapped on the bridge, forever bound to the site of her despair. And so the Screaming Bridge earned its name. Those who dare to cross the bridge late at night report hearing Lydia's blood-curdling screams echoing through the darkness. Some claim to have seen her spectral figure standing on the bridge, her white dress billowing in the wind, her eyes filled with an eternity of sadness. But Lydia isn't the only spirit said to haunt the Screaming Bridge. Over the years, there have been numerous reports of other unexplained phenomena, from phantom footsteps and disembodied voices to strange lights and sudden drops in temperature. One particularly chilling account comes from a group of teenagers who decided to test the legends for themselves. Armed with flashlights and a healthy dose of bravado, they drove to the bridge late one night, their laughter echoing in the stillness. They parked their car at the foot of the bridge and made their way up the embankment, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As they reached the center of the bridge, the air grew heavy, and an oppressive silence descended upon them. Suddenly, one of the teenagers cried out, pointing to a spot on the bridge just ahead of them. There, standing in the dim moonlight, was the translucent figure of a young woman. Her long dark hair cascaded down her back, and her eyes, wide with terror, seemed to stare directly through them. The teenagers watched in horror as the figure glided towards them, her arms outstretched as if seeking help. They stumbled back, their bravado forgotten, their minds struggling to comprehend what they were witnessing. As the figure drew closer, the teenagers turned and fled, their screams echoing through the night. They didn't stop running until they reached the safety of their car. The image of the ghostly woman seared into their minds. But the Screaming Bridge isn't just a place of tragedy and terror. It's also a place where the veil between our world and the next seems to thin, allowing glimpses into the realm beyond. Some believe that Lydia's spirit, trapped on the bridge for all eternity, acts as a beacon, drawing other lost souls to her. Others claim that the bridge sits atop a vortex of energy, a place where the barriers between dimensions weaken, allowing spirits to cross over more easily. Whatever the reason, there's no denying that the Screaming Bridge is a place of intense paranormal activity, a place where the living and the dead seem to coexist in an uneasy truce. So, if you ever find yourself in Avon, Ohio, and you're feeling brave, take a drive down to the Screaming Bridge, but be warned, you may not be alone. And if you hear a woman scream echoing through the darkness, don't hesitate to turn around and run. Some things are best left undisturbed. And there you have it, my fellow thrill-seekers. 2 chilling tales of haunted roads and bridges that prove some journeys are best taken from the safety of your own home. Remember, every road has a story to tell, and some stories are best left untold, or at least whispered in hushed tones around a flickering campfire. If you enjoyed tonight's trip into the heart of darkness, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more terrifying tales, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a spooky upload. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep your eyes peeled for the unexplained. You never know what lurks just around the bend.